of Israel and ras total.
Let's concentrate on Austria and Florian Blumenschiedo.
And last but not least, the Slovak Republic again with Martin Orsak.
I made a video recently about a Ukrainian athlete that didn't want to shake hands with an Iranian athlete when they were on the podium together. And here's a clip of someone with a Saudi flag moving away from the Israeli flag. What a hypocrite. What hypocrisy. Those two countries are literally twins. Not identical twins, but they are twins. They are both the product of Western imperialism. Let's have a look at it. Saudi Arabia, created in 1932, Israel created in 1948, although the promise that Israel would be created was of course given in 1917 with the Balfour Declaration. And at this time Britain were at war with the Ottoman Empire, looking to collapse the Ottoman Empire. So around the same time they were supporting Islamist uprisings and a movement called the Ikhwan in Arabia, hoping to destabilise the Ottoman Empire from all angles. And the Ottoman Empire collapsed with the conclusion of World War I. They were on the wrong side. They were with the Germans. The British took the mandate of Palestine and Transjordan, and the French took Syria and Lebanon. So these areas that were under Ottoman control were now under British control, with the promise that it would become a Jewish homeland, or that there would be a Jewish homeland in the land of Palestine. And that Jewish homeland actually became a Jewish state, and it was grabbed by force by the Zionist movement. And around the same time that this was going on, in what became known as Saudi Arabia, the Al Saud family were taking control. They had an alliance with the Wahhabi movement, or the Salafi movement. And since the creation of Saudi Arabia in 1932, they have supported every Wahhabi Salafi jihad that has been waged by that movement, by that school of thought. And more often than not, it's against one of the West's enemies. The Mujahideen in Afghanistan were fighting against the Soviet Union, one of Britain and America's enemies. The Bosnian Jihad to break up Yugoslavia, which was an Eastern Bloc country loyal to the Soviet Union, one of Britain and America's enemies. They supported the Chechen Jihad against Russia. Now, things have calmed down now, and Vladimir Putin has quite a good relationship with the Chechens. But for years, Britain and America armed and trained the Chechen rebels to go and destabilise Russia. The uprising in Syria against Bashar al-Assad, again, a jihad against one of Britain and America's enemies. And the uprising in Libya against Colonel Gaddafi, against one of Britain and America's enemies. The Salafi movement that came out of Saudi Arabia supported all of these jihads, and the French supported the jihad against Colonel Gaddafi. That's a little bit of a chickens coming home to roost at the moment when you've got violence on the streets of France. The French government were hoping to topple Colonel Gaddafi, and they supported the uprisings in Libya. So what goes around comes around. But for a Saudi national to want to move his flag away from the Israeli flag because, I'm against what Israel is doing, that has to be the height of hypocrisy, hasn't it? Because while you're distancing your Saudi flag from the Israeli flag, Saudi Arabia are raining down terror on the people of Yemen. Isn't that just as bad as bombing the people in Gaza? So let's not be hypocritical about this. Yes, I've protested outside the Israeli embassy. I've also protested outside the Saudi embassy. And I would say the two regimes are just as bad as each other. So no wonder we've got Israeli settlers saying how they would love to go and visit Saudi Arabia, or vice versa. Saudis are welcome to come and visit them, because these two countries, from their inception, from their origin, have been on the same team. They might not have been best friends, they might not have liked each other, but they are playing for the same team.
And I really hope there will be peace with Saudi Arabia, and I could come over to Saudi Arabia to visit, and the people from Saudi Arabia can come over to Israel and visit. We're really looking for peace between the two countries. Thank you.